Hey, what's happening, people? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Thank y'all for stopping in, dropping in, being here with me. It's Sunday. I'm here, you're here. I appreciate it. It was a great Sunday for me. Yes, it was. Hey, Mr. Ned, how you doing? But it was a great Sunday. I got to spend some time with my grandgirls over the weekend. Yeah, they will pop all out. I'm just gonna tell you like it is. So after I get through with this broadcast, guess what? I'm going to sleep. That's just all it is to it. I ain't taking no pills. I ain't taking no medicine. I'm just going to sleep. But no, it was good. It was good hanging out with them and having the little ones around. We took them shopping and Christmas shopping and a few other things. So that was cool. I think I want to change one thing because I think I finally figured out why my video keeps bogging down. So we're going to change that to, yeah, we made that change and let's see how that works out for us. Brother James, good to see you, my friend. Always great to see you. Like I said, I hope you had a great week, a great weekend. I was talking about hanging out with my grandkids this week, which was awesome. So, yeah, we got that. And then, of course, Cowboys won and Kansas City won. So I'm very happy about that also. Looks like my video is trying to do its own thing tonight. So I really think this is going to be the last week with this particular company for uh, for my broadcast. So we'll see how that works out. I know I'm still on the internet for my neighbor, but it shouldn't be. Looks like it's doing something it ain't got no business doing. Yeah, I know. I see that it's freezing, but I hope that it changes and fixes itself here shortly. But anyway, hey, Miss Charlotte, good to see you as well. And I made a decision. We're going to change the format of the show. Instead of talking about, hey, Roger, uh, how you and your son doing? You and Jaden, hope you guys are doing well. But I've kind of changed the format of the show. I'm not going to be doing the little announcements and things at the beginning of the show. I'm just going to go straight into the show and we're going to go from there. So, looks like on the screen I am still freezing, which is just not good at all. Cousin Barbara, good to see you as well. So, like I said, let's get into it, okay? The message tonight is called The Importance of Being a Mentor and Finding One. And this came from this week. I I see more people popping in, but so good evening, good evening, good evening to anybody that's just popping in. Appreciate you. Welcome to Messages in the Madness. And like I said, tonight I want to talk about something that's been on my heart this week. It's the importance of being a mentor. Being a mentor and how to find one. I think that's really, really important in this day and age. So this topic came up after an unexpected conversation I had with a young person it was during my day job. And let me change that format right there. It was a conversation I had during my day job with this particular person, and it was unexpected. I've only seen this person a couple of times now. Y'all know I like to keep it real, and this was one of those moments that reminded me how the simplest connections can spark something powerful. So, and it was just a simple conversation. Let's see, how am I doing over here? Am I still freezing, guys? Somebody let me know, send me a message or something. Let me know how this broadcast is going. Somebody tip my hat, please. Okay, is it starting to clear up? Okay, I think I figured out what's going on there. So anyway, am I good? Am I clear? Put me a message put me a message up. Let me know if I'm good and I'm clear yet. Okay, because I think I just figured out what the problem is. It's almost like calling into a radio show and trying to listen to yourself while you're talking to the host, to the host of the show on the radio. You can't have two things going at one time, and I think I just figured it out. So Somebody send me a yes. Am I clear? Can you hear me? Am I still freezing? Are we good to go? We're good to go. Thank you, Miss Charlotte. So let me set the stage for you. I was just minding my business. That's just what I was doing, having one of those casual how's life treating you conversations. And out of the blue, this young person said, hey, would you be my mentor? I'm like, well, they said more than that, but I'm bringing it down. They asked me if I would be their mentor. I was honored. I was flattered that this young person would even ask me to do stuff. I mean, to be a mentor. Now, I've mentored other people, and I have my own mentors, but my mentors, most of my mentors don't even know that they're my mentors. They just don't, because I mean, at my age, who am I going to walk up to and say, hey, man, I want you to be my mentor? Walk up to some woman and say, I need you to be my mentor. They've been my mentor from a distance. And I've watched and emulated things that I have seen them do because I saw it as something that I needed to do or I needed in my life. So, okay, yeah, thank you very much. Thank y'all for letting me know. So, my buddy, Mr. Horn, how you doing down there in Memphis? Great comedian. Um, but they asked me if I would be their mentor. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was caught off guard. I've mentored people. Like I said, I've mentored people before, but this ask felt different. It was a little different. I was, let's just say, I wasn't deeply tied to this person's life. Matter of fact, we're business acquaintances, and they work at a store that I support. But just as, like I said, we weren't friends. We're not, we're not. We just. I've spoke to him twice, but I guess you could say we're an acquaintance at best. And yet they trusted me enough to seek guidance. That hit me. That hit me straight out of left field. But let's talk about this real quick. Mentorship does matter. It does really matter. And let's talk about why it's so important. A mentor isn't just someone who knows more than you do. It's someone who's willing to share what they've learned to help you grow. It's someone who walks alongside you, not to control your life, no, but to guide you when things get messy or unclear and you're not really sure what your next step should be. So think about the mentors you've had. You may not even realize that they were mentors. They may have been teachers or pastors or co-workers. They may not have been your supervisor, but they could have been somebody who worked right beside you or in a whole different department that were mentors. It's someone who walks alongside of you. Hey, Marion. No, it's not your connection. It was my connection. But like I said, I think I figured it out tonight. But it's someone who walks alongside of you, not to control your life, but to guide you. They help you. Think about the mentors you've had, though, or maybe didn't have. And some of my, like I said, as I said earlier, a lot of my mentors were people who didn't even know they was my mentors. But my first mentors were my uncle Johnny Bass, my uncle Snookum, my uncle Roosevelt. Those were family members. Then I had the teacher, Mrs. Burgess, and so on and so forth. That were that I looked up to, Mr. Leon Davis. My mentors were people who I looked up to. My grandfather, I looked up to him, both of them. So they come in all different shapes, and sometimes we don't realize, or they don't realize, they are mentors. James says, my dad was and that's wonderful. But for me, I think about the people who took the time to teach me things, like my Uncle Arthur and my Uncle Lovey. They taught me to fish, and they taught me it was okay to drink beer before 7 a.m. as long as it was light beer. For me, like I say, it was people who took the time to teach me things. Sometimes they taught me stuff I didn't even know I needed to learn. My mother was my mentor. But these people taught me about patience, decision making, honor, discipline, doing the right thing, and sometimes just how to hold on when life gets tough. And life does get a little tough sometimes, like an old steak or a cheap steak. Mentors, they're like road maps, they're like road signs. They can't drive the car for you, but they can point you in the right direction so you don't end up lost or stuck. They can point you in the right direction and help you not to make the same mistakes that they made. And there were some of those lessons I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention to because I wouldn't have made the same mistakes twice, which I did. Or I could have avoided some things. So now here's the twist to the story. This young person, well, James, you say he was also a pain in your butt. He was your pain in your butt because he wanted to make sure you did better than he did. How about that? But like I said, here's the twist to the story. This particular young person didn't want to ask their father to be their mentor. Unlike you, James, your father was your mentor. They didn't want to ask their father to be their mentor. You go, why? Why not? Because they thought his advice would be biased. Hey, Miss Coley, how you doing? Glad to hear that you're okay. Uh, but they thought his advice would be biased. Matter of fact, they said he loves me so much and he's too invested in my life. He's not going to tell me what I need to hear. He's going to tell me what he wants me to hear. And that makes so much sense. Okay, Gunnery Sergeant W. Rowe, Marine Corps, Semper Fi. And that says my dad was mine. Okay. My father wasn't around long enough to be mine. Well, yeah, he wasn't. Just honest. So, like I said, this person said, he loves me too much and he's too invested in my life. He's not going to tell me what I need to hear. He's going to tell me what he wants me to hear. And that's a big difference when you're trying to be a mentor to someone. You can't tell them what they want to hear. You got to tell them the truth. You got to be real with them. I remember one of my mother's husbands. I won't necessarily call him my stepdad, but I thought I could sing and I wanted to sing. I wanted to sing. And I asked him, what did he think about my singing? Because he would hear me walking around the house sing all the time. He goes, you know what? You probably could do okay as a background singer. Or maybe in a choir. I'm like, I didn't realize what he was saying to me until I got a little older. But Miss Coley says, well, I'm not okay, but I'm all right. If that makes sense, I'll tell you what happened later. Okay, we'll go with that. But that really did strike a chord with me. And it stuck with me all week because this happened like Tuesday. But it stuck with me. It's tough to mentor someone when you're close to them, isn't it? Love and being familiar or familiarity can blur your objectivity. Sometimes young folks feel like they need an outside perspective to truly trust the advice they're getting. You know, kids tend to think that mom and dad are stupid and we don't know anything, but our mom and dad could tell us something 22 times, but then let us hear from another source. And we're like, oh, hey, wait a minute. I've heard this before. Yeah, dad just told you that yesterday. But it is what it is. So I agreed to be their mentor. I'm going to tell you why I said yes. I agreed to be their mentor. And I told them, look, I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you. But I was also, but I also want you to look closer to home. I will be your mentor. I'm here, but I'm challenging you to look closer to home. Why? I know we got cell phones and everything, but I'm in St. Louis. I need you to look closer to you. Think about your circle of family, friends, or even people you're connected to once removed. You understand what I'm saying? You following me there? Once removed. People you're connected to once removed. Someone you who knows you, cares about you, but doesn't have a direct hand in your everyday decisions. And I'll tell you why I suggested this. Because see, mentorship is at its best when when there's a foundation of trust, mutual respect, and some degree of distance. Yeah, you need a little distance there. You need someone who can be objective, someone who can tell you the hard truth without sugarcoating. Yeah, without sugarcoating. And we do a lot of that. We can't sugarcoat and we can't worry about hurting their feelings too much if we're going to be honest with them. So my suggestion was, okay, how about your boyfriend's mother? That's boyfriend, mother's once removed. How about that? Are they a professional person? Or have they accomplished some things? Yada yada yada. I just used that as an example. So I told them to really think about it. The title of the message tonight is The Importance of Being a Mentor and Finding One. So I will put it in the chat for you. Um, and Finding One. Okay. I'll put it in the chat for you there, Miss Coley. Thank you very much. So people go, man, I'm old. I'm older. Or I'm the top person in my organization. Do I really need a mentor? I'm 60, 70 years old. Do I really need a mentor? Maybe you do. And maybe you do. Maybe you've had a mentor this whole time. And a lot of what you learned about life, you learned from them. And you've taken that knowledge and you've shared it with other people down the line. I hope that you have. So let's get practical. Let's talk. Let's be real here. How do you find a mentor? Some people really don't know how. Because, see, not everyone is going to walk up and ask, can you be my mentor? They're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it. I was surprised that this young person did. And they were just very straight out with it. And I respected that a lot. So, yes, that's it, Cody. Is actually the importance of being a mentor. Did I type it wrong? Yep. The importance of being a mentor. So, how do you find a mentor? Like this young person did. Start looking around. Start with people you admire. Let me make sure. Let me get this to her real quick. I'm going to copy it from right there. Copy. I will paste it right there for you. Say, put it where the baby can get it. That's the whole. That's the whole message for the. That's the whole title for the message tonight. So, again, where do you find a mentor? You start looking around for people who inspire you. I have a supervisor, a guy who used to be my supervisor. Uh, that I'm still. I still look up. I look to him as a mentor. Hey, baby sis, thought maybe he's out on another one of them wild dates. Um, I'm glad you're listening to the show. See, this is my lets me know that you're okay. Yeah, but maybe, like I say, this is a guy who I looked up to. And you have to look around at people who inspire you. Maybe it's someone at work who handles stress and great. They handle it with grace. Maybe it's a family friend who's successful in the way you hope to be one day. The key to finding someone who's doing what you want to do or who embodies the qualities you respect is key in finding a mentor. And then you want to look once removed, as I said before. Like I told you, this young person, I told him, don't just look at your inner circle. Go one step out. Who are the people your friends or family members that you trust? These folks may not be emotionally invested in your decision, but can still care about your success. Family and friends, one step out. It's that simple. Be brave enough to ask somebody to be a mentor. Hey, Tom Landry was a great one. This is the hard part. Asking someone to be your mentor takes guts. It takes courage. It does. You might feel like you're imposing, but here's the thing. Most people are honored to be asked. I know I was. Hey, I'm excuse me, let me get my handkerchief because y'all know I'm a big softy. And I had to wipe a tear away because I was so flattered that they asked me this. They asked me to be this. So when somebody asks you to be their mentor, they're telling you they value your wisdom. That's a compliment anyone would appreciate. I know I did. The number four is be open to informal mentorship. Not every mentor mentee relationship has to be formal. It really doesn't. It's not like you're going to a therapist. Sometimes it's just a series of casual conversations with someone who drops wisdom whenever you need it. You got to be open and ready for that. You got to be listening to the conversation. You can't just be talking and just preparing yourself to respond to whatever they're saying. As one of my favorite talk show hosts says, a woman named Karen Hunter, she gets on my nerve really, but I like what she does. But she says sometimes we have to receive information and just sit with it. We just have to take it in and just go, huh, and analyze and listen to what we just heard. But there are responsibilities for being a mentor. So let's flip the script. Let's talk about the importance of being a mentor. If you've lived a little, you got something to teach, you got something to share, you got some information that somebody else will find valuable. I don't care if you're not a CEO, a scholar, or some world renowned expert. If you've struggled, if you've survived, if you've made decisions, or just grown as a person, you have something to share. Being a mentor is about paying it forward. It's about taking what you've learned and saying, here's what helped me. Maybe it could help you too. It's not sitting high and looking low. It's caring enough to care enough. That's what really a mentor is. Is caring enough to care enough to share some of you with someone else who may be trying to move forward in life, maybe get to where you're at or avoid where you're going. So, and let me tell you something else. Being a mentor isn't just about helping the other person. It's also about growing yourself. every time I mentor someone, I'm reminded of lessons I've learned. So it keeps me humble and gives me a sense of purpose. It really does. I get to talking to y'all on these airways sometimes, and it's like, huh. And it makes me stop and think about some of the things that I have, some of the things that I have been through. So, but we're going to wrap this thing up, y'all. Here's what I want you to take away from tonight. Whether you're looking for a mentor or thinking about becoming one, know this. Mentorship is a gift. It's a relationship that can change lives, not just for the mentee, but for the mentor also. So it's a give and give situation. It's not a give and take. It's a give and give. You get something and they get something too. And if someone asks you to be their mentor, don't take that lightly. It's an honor. It's a privilege. Say yes if you can. Do not burden yourself if you cannot. And the funny part about it is you may not believe that you can bestow some wisdom and knowledge upon somebody, but really you can. If you're looking for a mentor, don't be afraid to ask. The right person may be closer to you than you think. So think about it. Think about your life. What can you share? How can you help somebody else? Just by sharing your truth, just by being there for them, just by just being a good person. Now, why did this young person pick me? I have no clue. But I'm proud. Like I say, I've mentored other people. And when they call me their mentor, I can do nothing but I can't do nothing but just put my hands together and nod my head to them because I'm grateful that they would hold me in that high of esteem. So be a mentor. I don't care if it's the person, if you're a cashier and it's the person right next to you that you're cashiering. They may have some questions about life, not just running a cash register, but they may have some questions about life, and you may have some lessons about how to run that cash register. You may be laying in a hospital bed, and there's somebody else laying in a hospital bed next to you that might need a mentor to try to figure out and guide themselves through a situation. You might be a school teacher, and you may need another school teacher to help you understand and guide you through your first uh your first or second year of being a teacher. James says, I'm a good bad example. Well, you know what? I'm right there with you, buddy. So there is important. Well, thank you very much for that, Kobe. But the importance of being a mentor is a blessing. It really is. So that's the message for tonight, man. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. Take some time this week to think about who's been a mentor to you. Maybe give them a call and thank them. Or who you might be able to mentor yourself. Yeah, there may be somebody out there that really needs you to help them. And all they need is your words. They ain't looking for your money. They don't want your car. They're not trying to get your house. They just need some information to help them get a little further in life. So, guys, let's pay it forward if we can. Let's pay it forward. I hope to see y'all next Sunday. We got 9 shopping days till Christmas if you do Christmas. If you want to know what I want for Christmas, inbox me. Yeah, I'm taking donations. All right, guys. I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Take care of them kids. Respect our vets. I'm Vernon Longhorn Davis. It's been my honor, privilege, and pleasure. Until next week, God bless you. $2.